Hey guys, before we get into this episode, if you ever enjoyed any of our videos, please hit the subscribe button right here. It helps us out more than you know it. So peace, enjoy the episode. Welcome guys to another episode of the Seed Network. I'm your host, Bold Man, and I'm here today with a special guest, Ciang Ajeic-a, who's been making noise in the comedy scene in Melbourne, and is here today to join us. So welcome, brother. How are you?
I'm great, bro. Thanks for having me.
No, much love. I'm glad you can make it, and I know there's been, a saga to get this to happen, but I'm glad we made it happen.
Bro, I've been trying to be on this
Yeah.
show, I can't lie. And I love watching it, so I was like, I'd love to be part of it.
I love that.
One
and
day.
I appreciate hearing that, honestly.
Today's the day.
Today's the day. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear all about you. But just before we get into our conversation, just for people who don't know who you are, who is Chung?
Ciang Ajeic-a. Ciang Ajeic-a, he's a funny guy, bro. He just funny, outgoing guy, always smiling. I think people know that now. A lot of people know me as a guy that's always smiling. It's because I'm happy, bro. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to have what I have in my life. I'm happy to be able to do whatever I want every day, which is comedy.
I love that.
Yeah, bro. That's Chung. And Chung is it's a guy trying to chase his dreams of becoming, a stand-up comedian, entertainer.
I love to hear that. And before we get into your whole journey, let's start off with where you were born.
So I was born in a small town outside of Khartoum in Sudan called Al-Qadadif.
Okay.
I was born there, and shortly after we had to leave, obviously, because of the war. So when I was about, I don't remember. I was really young when I started moving, and it's the craziest thing ever. You're born and you're moving.
Yeah.
Like it's such an important thing too, because
For sure.
You know how important this journey is now, but at that time I did not know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was born by the age of 2. I think I was in Khartoum, and by the age of I don't know. I think by the age of 3 I was in Egypt. Yeah, so we went to Egypt after. I don't, like I said, I don't recall too much of that.
Yeah.
I was really young, and
then when did you guys come here?
when I was 5, actually.
Yeah.
So 2004, I came here.
I love that. And how big is your family?
Big, oh yeah, not that big, but it's big. I have 2 older brothers. I got 2 younger brothers and a sister. So altogether, it's 5.
I love that. And what's your relationship with all your siblings?
I feel like it's a hard relationship to have because sometimes you feel like you're a parent, especially with the younger kids. For the black community, sometimes it's hard to have a relationship with your siblings because you have to, take over the role of being a parent sometimes. And until they get older, like my sister, we have a great relationship. And my brothers, we have a great relationship with them. But the younger ones, it's really hard. We didn't understand each other.
Yeah.
Because I'm a brother and a father sometimes to them. And we bump head, kind of bump heads in in that aspect.
For sure. It makes total sense.
Yeah.
And, talking about parents, what's your relationship with your parents like?
Honestly, my parents, it's a bittersweet relationship, to be honest with you. My mother, she just never really cared about certain things. She cared about survival. You know what I mean? And I felt like, when was she gonna know that we already survived this?
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to say it. I didn't need to do what she had to do. She did a lot. I appreciate my mom every day. She was the one that was pushing to come to Australia. And I tell her all the time, thank you for bringing us here and giving us all the opportunities. But she just never understood that we were safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We could kind of relax now. My
Before
father.
we jump to your father, I want to talk about your mom a little bit. And I know, something we bump heads and we don't understand, but as we get older, we understand a little bit more from your mum and who she was as an individual. What did you learn from her that you took that was positive and it made sense after a while?
Yeah, bro. My mom is a hustler, bro. That's one thing about my mom. My mom's a hustler.
Yeah.
I respect her a lot when it comes to that. She was the one that really pushed us to come to Australia. When she got rejected, she was determined, and determination is one of my biggest things. I love someone that has that kind of like
you inherited that from her.
yeah characteristic in them, because it's just like you never fail.
Yeah.
You just can't. They can't fail.
100%.
You know, you might not get it the first time. And like my mother, when she applied for a visa to come here with it, she got rejected.
Do you know how many times?
I think she got rejected twice.
That's still.
And she told me about the story, and I remember I was like, I just made us so much closer. Like that's the thing. Like I said, it's a bittersweet relationship. It's not like a love relationship. It's more like a understanding. You know, I understand that she just doesn't understand how to love the way I kind of like see it in Australia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What about your father?
My father is very traditional, bro. Very traditional.
In what way?
He wasn't really down to move. He was not really about the journey to the Western world. He didn't really like the Western world. He heard stories about it, and
About all the Kawajats?
yeah, about the Kawajats and the way the kids act, and and the kids run away from the house. And my father, like I said, he definitely has a lot of qualities that I do kind of like have today, and I've taken
What are
from
those?
him. He just, you know, he's just such a kind person. You know, he's kind. He treats everybody with respect. Very religious. I'm a person not very religious, but that in itself was like he kind of like showed me what a true religious person would be. Very kind. The way he just taught us everything he could to like prepare us as best as he could, you know. There were some things he just didn't know.
How would you describe your family in one word?
I say it's very complex, like a very complex family dynamic I have, to be honest with you. And I don't think it's very unique as well. I've heard many things from my friends about their family, like how complex it is when, you know, you just immigrated to a new country, your parents don't know the language, they don't understand you, you don't understand them, and just it's definitely hard. It's very stressful. It's very annoying. Because you have to kind of teach yourself a lot of things.
Yeah. What's the most annoying thing talking about that, and what would you like to do different when you do have kids on your own?
Oh yeah, I definitely, I don't think I'd do anything different. I'll just be kind of like easier on them for certain things, you know, and like I wouldn't, you know, have such a strong mindset from what I've heard. You know how Africans are. They hear something and they start to believe it. So
Yeah.
like, you know, I'll care a little bit more about them as an individual. Feel like they kind of look at us all as one, the kids.
I love that. What was something that you kept on getting lectured on when you were growing up that was so annoying, was taking your time, but as you got older, you kind of realized how important that was?
Alcohol. That's actually one thing my dad used to talk about a lot. It's like, don't drink alcohol. And I was like so young. I was like, bro, like, what the hell are you talking? What is alcohol? You know what I mean? And obviously, like I talked to you about, alcohol is one of the worst things ever, because the laws make it so easily abused. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the culture, Australian culture, you can abuse alcohol very easily and not even know it.
All right, guys, we're going to go on a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back to the Seed Network. If you just joined, I'm your host, Bold Mayan. So, Chung, one thing I really love about you is how positive you are. And, you know, a lot of people might know you as the funny-go-lucky guy, positive dude, which is awesome. And it's awesome to have that because that is very contagious. But I also know that, with that being said, there's always the positives and there's negatives to every situation. Can you talk a little bit about the negatives and the down experiences that you've had and you've gone through that people might not know?
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like because of the complex family I've had to kind of like do more parenting than just being a brother or being a son, you know, and like a lot of people relate to that, you know, you're a brother, you're a son, and you're a father sometimes, you know what I mean? And those things stress you out as a young man, you know. I remember I had to take care of my family for 2 years during COVID, financially, and that was stressful, you know. And I started drinking a lot, but it's not just that, you know. COVID, you know, was stressful in itself. Having to take care of the family was stressful, and my whole life, like, you know, obviously my future, thinking about that was stressful. And I got into drinking a lot. I was drinking every day, sometimes drinking, and I kind of like just got lost in that. And like I told you, you know, it took me a while, you know, to kind of realize how damaging it was. And last year I decided to change my life and stop drinking, because it wasn't gonna, you know, really take anything away. Drinking is not gonna take my problems away. My problems are always gonna be here. I'm just gonna be kind of intoxicated for 2-3 hours. I wake up to them, you know. It's more like, it's kind of just like distraction, if you ask me. And I feel like once you realize that, you kind of like just get up and you face the music, you face your problems, and you kind of like take care of them. And like one of the things was being selfish.
Yeah.
I'm very selfless, and it sounds weird to me to say that, but like I care about people around me a lot. People that I love, I care about them a bit too much sometimes. Where I'm like, do you care about yourself? You need to kind of like start taking care of yourself. So I decided to move out. That was one thing, get away from my family, and just focus on myself. And I did that. Once I did that, I still kind of struggled with drinking, because obviously I'm young and I've got the family still calling me for financial support. And I was like, you know, just, there was a breaking point where I was like, I'm gonna stop drinking, and I'm just gonna focus on my goal and my future. And that was about 6 months ago. Because obviously I've been making my videos for a while now, but in the back I was doing all this, you know, all these other things, obviously, living my life, you know. But 6 months ago I started seeing a therapist, actually.
I love to hear that, honestly.
And once I started seeing a therapist, she helped me really kind of like get the tools to face my problems, get the tools to kind of like, you know.
Can I ask a question? Because I know seeing a therapist is very taboo still in our community. What was the most important thing you learned about seeing a therapist?
I remember the first session we had, she told me that she told me my experience was not unique, and that made me very comfortable. It kind of like made it normal, and I know that sounds weird, but it's like, you know, I'm not alone in this situation. And she told me that a lot of people that she works with have to take care of their family at a young age, and it gets you know, get really stressful. It starts to affect your own life as a son, as a young man. And I know after this, she told me that I was really comfortable, and it's not easy, but I'm telling you, there's conversations I did not want to have.
So, Chung, what I want to talk about, it's so inspiring to hear that you knew what was the problem and you got out of it. You went seeking for help and you got the help that you needed, and you've also quit something that was pulling you down, which was alcohol, for the past 8 months. Can you talk about that a little bit, and what advice do you have for someone that is on the verge of committing to what you committed to?
That's a great question. All I say is, if you do have something holding you back, because that's the most important thing. There's something always holding you back. You know? If it's not alcohol, it's, you know, family problems, it's, you know, mental problems. And first thing you need to do is address the problem. Ask yourself, really, be honest with yourself. You know, because you can lie to yourself for so long, like, until it's like, you know, staring you in the face. And that's what happened with me. I was lying to myself. I was like, nah, you know, alcohol is not alcohol, no way. I just do it on the weekends, you know, but I do it really hard on the weekends. So this is, like, you know, you do these small things where you're lying to yourself, but I'm telling you, just be honest with yourself and go and face the music, because once you do, it comes more clear. Everything becomes more clear, and that's why I suggest and I advise people to do face the music. Go see some help for real, because once you see some help, it's a cheat code to kind of like freeing your mind to be able to do what you really want to do, which is obviously for me, stand up and making content and chasing my dreams. But it's not easy, you know. And I want to say I did it on my own. I had people around me that really pushed for me to become the best version of myself. And that's what I think you should do. The most important thing is face the problem and try to surround yourself with people who care about you, because there's a lot of people who didn't really care. They just, you know, they were just like, oh, this is annoying me. Yeah. Which is unfortunate, but you know, it's deeper than that. It's not just annoying. It's something that you need to kind of like get help with, you know. But
I love that. When this is all over, what do you want people to know Ciang Ajeic as?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know what I want people to think of me. I want more. I want my kids to think of me as a great man and a great father, a great human being. That's what I want, really. I want them to be like, I'm so proud of him being my father. That's something I care about. I'm very family oriented. I care so much about my family that I don't have. And I think I do everything today for my future family and, you know, kids. And the funny thing is, I think I just care about kids in general because they're the future all the time. And obviously, you know, we just gotta really work hard today for them.
Yeah. All right, guys, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this ad break. Welcome back, guys. If you just joined, I am your host, Bold Man, and I'm here with Chung Ajeic. And I know you don't have kids now, but for a lot of people, kids as well.
I might have kids.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But just say, hypothetically speaking, you don't have any kids.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to get into your business, but you know, you don't have any kids, hypothetically speaking. But for people that do, that's what keeps them going. That's what keeps them motivated, right? And hypothetically speaking, you don't have that at the moment. What keeps you going, and what keeps you happy and positive?
What keeps me happy and positive is, to be honest with you, this is the freedom of being in a country like this. It's like I can really just move to another state. I can shower every day. I can just do anything I really want, bro. And I feel like it's such a small thing, but I feel like people just forget about that. I can really just move to a different state tomorrow and just ask the government to like help me out. And they'll do that. There's no excuses to me personally, and I don't understand how people don't like wake up in the morning and really like trip out like that. And I think people they just get lost in their own lives, and they forget that you're so lucky to be able to access all these stuff, you know, shower, toilet, education, you know, financial support from the government. Some governments don't care about the people that live in their countries at all. They couldn't care less, and that's what keeps me positive. It's such a weird way to answer that question, but and another thing that keeps me driven is kids that I will have. I'm a big guy when it comes to family.
I know 100%.
Like, I really think it's the most important thing to me is being able to build an empire in terms of like, you know, having kids that go on and, you know, help people more when I'm gone, you know, and they can. I can live within them. You know? A little piece of me can live within. I can live forever at that point.
I love that so much. You know, I known you for a while now, but vaguely. I didn't know you too much, you know, too well. But you know, seeing your growth, hearing what you've said tonight, I'm very proud of you. You know, and the man you've become is very inspiring and very incredible. My question is, are you happy with who you've become?
It's a crazy question because like. I was talking to one of my great friends about it, and she actually helped me a lot during like seeing a therapist, all that, and I'm very happy with the person I am. It's so challenging, and like I said to you, it was scary, and it was like, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, like look at this place I'm going to, like uncharted territory. Unfortunately, for a young black man, that's not something they do. But I'm so proud of myself. You know, I came out of it mentally and physically, emotionally stable, and then I, you know, jumped back on my horse and kind of like, you know, chased my dreams. and I keep chasing my dreams, and I will keep chasing them, and like I think this year is the most proud I've been of myself, because I just really did everything I wanna do for myself. You know, I really just did whatever I wanted to do.
This has been amazing. You know, seeing this side of you has been a blessing, and thank you so much for opening up for me.
Thank you for
know,
letting me
and for the
share.
world. But
Yeah.
you're a blessing, man. And I think people need to be around people like you, and you know, your confidence, the way you're capable of sharing your emotions, and being honest with yourself, and seeking help, and not being in denial about things. I think is the
Yeah.
most important thing that any person, but any man could do.
Yeah, there's one thing I do want to add is, the thing is, I don't care about seeming perfect.
I love that.
I do think about it sometimes. It's better to seem perfect. Because I'm from social media, and social media, they don't show ugly stuff on social media. You know, people who make content don't show ugly stuff. They don't show their family dynamics. They don't show their struggles, their addictions. And like, I think that's really important, especially if I want to be in the limelight. I might as well let them know now that I have flaws like them, and I'm human like them, and I have addictions, and I have family problems, and I have
That's
all these stuff
incredible,
that
man.
they have.
That's that is so wise and so incredible to even hear you say that. That's so important, man. Honestly, this has been an incredible episode. I didn't know where this was going to go, but I love where it went, and I can't wait for people to see this as well.
But I can't wait. I can't wait till someone sees it and
Yeah.
he's like, oh, that guy that I love from so and so, it's normal like me. You know, I think that's the most important thing, and I can kind of like pave back to whoever sees this.
Yeah.
They could maybe seek some help or whatever they're going through.
Once again, man, like I said, you're a blessing, and this has been awesome. Honestly, this has been incredible, and I don't know what to say. You know.
Yeah, bro.
Good stuff.
It's a blessing to be on this. I told you I wanted to be on this really badly, so I was so happy to be on it, bro.
Another handshake, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
There you go.
Let's go.
There you go, guys. We're gonna wrap it up there because yeah, we smashed it, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.